This woman could not outrun the horror that pursued her and transformed her flesh. Book 2. The Burden of Thanatos. This simple farmer looks to have put up a fight, albeit in vain. The words on this parchment are difficult to read, as if they were quickly written. 'Tis a note written on parchment. It reads, Elhood, the coals were unfit for the forge. Take care with the wood, you let it burn too high. Dirt first, then fire. See Sophos the shearer for kindling. Leonidas. 'Tis naught but the ashes from a spent fire. Argonus drops the wood into the pit. The handle and shaft of this simple shovel are made of walnut, its blade of pitted iron. The handle and shaft of this simple shovel are made of walnut. Argonus sets the shovel to dirt again and again until the planks are completely covered. With the exception of a large hole at the top, dirt covers the wooden pile, creating a simple kiln. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine flame. Smoke pours from the kiln. Given time, the makeshift structure will yield a modest amount of charcoal. Butes, kinsman and falconer, is no more. The land of Tegea has lost a favored son. Bards will tell countless tales of Idas, he of boundless strength, and slayer of boar and centaur alike. Argonus takes a single cautious step forward before two eyes, set like burning coals, narrow and stop him cold. The Daimon's grotesque head regards the sailor.
Nay, Argonus, son of Argus, thou cannot pass beyond this threshold. So says Hades, lord of the underworld. For just as many legions doth serve me and obey my will, so too Thanatos obeys the will of he who governs the dead.
It is obvious that this man was trying to shield the woman from harm. Unfortunately, he failed. The great statue of Hades, god of the underworld, lies still and dormant. The great statue of Hades stirs as if waking from a long, deep slumber. The god of the underworld looks about before his gaze settles upon the sailor.
Argonus, son of Argus, the shipbuilder. I have heard your name spoken within the halls of Zeus, albeit in whispers, and even then through mediary. It is said that fair Athena herself has laid upon your frail shoulders a great burden. And while she charges you to seek out your comrades, I find it curious that the goddess of wisdom would care so much about that which Hades governs.
The god looks away, as if seeking something that even he cannot find.
I know a great many things, Argonus. I know when each soul departs this mortal coil. I know when they enter my realm, and I know on which dark river they set sail. However, what I do not know,
Hades says, his eyes once again turning toward Argonus,
is why the names of two sisters are also uttered high upon Olympus. There is an object, an orb that can grant me such an answer. Who would be my steward? Who would bring it here, to my temple, to me?
Without hesitation, Argonus nods. Pledge made, the god of the underworld stretches forth his hand, and a helm materializes before Argonus.
Take this helm of darkness. Wear it, and eyes will be blinded to you. Succeed in this boon, and I will provide you with something greater. A way forward where there was none. So says Hades, brother of Zeus and Poseidon, ruler of the dead.
And with that proclamation, the statue shifts once more and becomes silent. It is obvious that the helm was given for a greater purpose, one that only the god Hades appears to fully comprehend. This stone statue is that of quiet Phlius, cup-bearer of sweet wines, possessor of a lion's heart. Even with his keen eyesight, the Cyclops is nescient of the helm-wearing Argonaut. This juvenile was not immune to that which takes man and mystic creature alike. It does not take a chronicler nor a seer to recognize the women that warm themselves by the fire. They are the Graeae, witches of well renown. A large fire such as this offers comfort to those who sit about it. With the aid of Hades' gift, the Graeae are caught unawares as the smoke from the fire billows, carrying the potion within its grip. It takes naught but a few seconds for the witches to feel its effect, and one by one, they fall into a deep sleep. This orb, so coveted by the blind seeresses, is said to reveal both the past and future in equal measure. "'Tis the all-seeing eye of the Graeae. Possessing such a thing shall surely lead one to ruin." Argonus holds out his hand, and the all-seeing eye of the Graeae rises. The god of the underworld stretches forth his arm, and light, not unlike that of a moonbeam, engulfs the sailor of the Argo. Argonus turns, and for the first time since setting foot upon this bedeviled isle, bears witness to his bane. With naught but a simple gaze, a woman, her hair like a nest of snakes, turns one of his shipmates into stone. The other creature, distraught, moves between the two, pleading.
Stheno, this madness must end. How many more must perish to satiate your thirst for vengeance? Let us mourn our sister in peace. Let us return home.
A flash of anger crosses Stheno's face as she moves within mere inches of her cowering sister.
Never, Euryale. There is no time to weep or wail, nor shall there be. Not as long as a single breath forms within my breast. The petty gods will pay. Wretched Athena will pay. From Hades' heart I will stab at them. For hate's sake, I shall drive my vengeance deep.
Stheno moves toward the looming entrance within the mount, but not before she pauses.
When shall my hate have its fill? When shall it be placated?
The woman whispers.
Never, Euryale. Never.
And with that, Stheno is gone, and Euryale obediently follows her sister into the darkness, into her madness. The vision falters, and the light that fell from the hand of Hades follows before fading completely. The god of the underworld takes measure of Argonus, and with a final nod, the statue moves no more, and the helm vanishes from sight. This orb, so coveted by the blind seeresses, is said to reveal both the past and future in equal measure. Some force, whether virtuous or malevolent, pulls at the eye of the witches. As Argonus slowly approaches the poisonous cloud, the Daimon cocks his head, as if listening to a voice only one such as he can. Seconds pass before the beast turns his attention to the sailor trembling before him.
Never has there been a time when Thanatos was commanded to forsake those souls he was sent to gather. And yet, this is the will of Hades, the one to whom I am subject.
Once again, the Daimon looks away before finally letting his dark gaze settle upon Argonus.
I fear this was brought to be by thine own hands, Argonaut. For without thy influence, the Lord of the Underworld would not call me hands. If I am to go forth, one must take my place. For if I cannot harvest the souls of those who remain between life and death, then the son of Argus must suffice.
Thanatos lifts a claw into the air, and without further explanation, utters a single word.
Menas ignis.
Argonus screams as his hand is momentarily enveloped in flame. Just as quickly as it arrived, the pain passes. As the sailor looks upon his new hand in both horror and awe, the Daimon begins to dissipate, leaving only the smell of ash in its wake. Moments later, that too fades from this world. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the Daimon bestowed upon Argonus. Argonus feels the power of the Daimon leave him and enter that of his friend. In mere moments, the statue fails, releasing its stone grip on the man's soul. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone bodies and frees the souls trapped within. "'Tis a monstrous Cyclops. Many a tale has been told about these one-eyed creatures. Under the watchful eye of the Cyclops, Argonus frees the soul of his friend, hoping the beast understands the sailor's intent. Argonus approaches the petrified creature slowly, glancing back and forth between it and the adult Cyclops. When Argonus reaches the stone creature, he realizes that the adult not only witnessed him freeing the soul of the Argonaut, but must have grasped what could be done for his child. Raising his hand slowly, Argonus allows the power of the Daimon to flow through him and into the young Cyclops. The adult begins to wail as the stone breaks, falling to the earth just as the soul of the beast rises and dissipates. His mission of mercy complete, Argonus turns toward the huge beast, his head low. The creature looks at him for a moment, before turning and slowly disappearing from sight. It is surprising to see an owl this white upon an isle such as this.
I have done the very thing that my brethren could not. I have stared into the loathsome eyes of the scourge and lived to tell the tale. 'Tis true, for I have watched in horror as mighty Cepheus, brother of Amphidamas, did succumb to its devilry. Those who doubt my sight, the apostates and illiterate, might say what I beheld was nothing more than a fevered dream, summoned from human frailties. Others would spout that the vision was a trick of the mind, a glamour to take hold of weak and hopeful fools. 'Tis not so. I know the thing witnessed by this sailor was neither feebled madness nor dark illusion. The form that death now takes, the very one that has brought the men of the Argo to ruin, is that of the dread Gorgons. Never will my eyes forget this, nor my heart forgive such great transgressions. My will is unfaltering, and I shall neither mourn nor wallow in my infirmities. No, I will bring a reckoning upon the heads of these creatures and the brood of vipers that nest thereon. Forgive this historian, as I find it impossible to fully comprehend. much less lay onto parchment that which concerns the burden laid upon me by the Daimon. It is as if proper words seek to evade me, refusing to form upon my lips. In the days that I stood ready at Jason's elbow, I can recount only one kindred encounter, one worthy of both bards and those who would gather at the poet's feet. Listen to this tale if you have ears to hear. We had brought mighty Argo to shore on Lemnos, the Sintian Isle, under the cover of darkest night. As our feet found dry ground, we were set upon by towering men, pale like the moon itself, and laden with sword, spear, and axe. As Helion, son of Helios, fell, mortally wounded in the grave battle, a great billow of smoke appeared, and a disfigured hand formed within it. That is when I beheld Helion's soul rise from his mortal frame and depart this world. And although my mind cannot hold fast to this new encounter, nor this hand that I now possess, Thanatos' last words of mystery burn like flame before my eyes. For if I cannot harvest the souls of those who remain between life and death, then the son of Argus must suffice.
Cautiously, Argonus approaches the distraught Graeae, their one eye held out before him, an olive branch extended. Before he can utter a single word, the orb is lifted from his palm, and moments later, gently comes to rest in old, gnarled hands. The sailor braces for retribution, but none appears. The seeresses merely sit in silence. Finally, the first speaks, her voice low and raspy.
This we have not foreseen.
The second follows.
Stolen yet returned.
The third continues.
A quandary set before us. A wayward sailor? Athena's puppet? No, he is more than that.
The witches become quiet once again, staring into a fire that they cannot see, pondering the fate of an uncommon thief.
We know not where this ends.
The first breaks the silence.
We cannot stop it.
Says the second.
Mayhap this one can.
Finishes the third. With that, the first Graeae lifts her hand and slowly draws something in the air. The world around Argonus wavers, and he becomes a captive audience to words once spoken between goddess and mortal man.
Come, my lovely Medusa, lay with me again.
Oh please, great Poseidon, I cannot. I am sworn in service to Athena. Oh no! No!
Poseidon, you dare defile what is mine? And here, in my sacred temple?
Mind thy tongue, Athena. Yes, the Lord of the Seas dares. But what of it? Nothing you can do can bring me to harm.
Perhaps that is true. But the same cannot be said of this woman.
My goddess, please! Forgive me!
Athena, no!
As the words fade from his ears, Argonus searches for the witches in vain, wondering how a simple sailor can bear witness to such past events. A large fire such as this offers comfort to those who sit about it. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. Smoke pours from the kiln. Given time, the makeshift structure will yield a modest amount of charcoal. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the Daimon's gift destroys the stone statue. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the Daimon bestowed upon Argonus. With heavy heart, Argonus watches as stone falls to the earth, even as the freed soul of the Argonaut rises. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the Daimon's gift destroys the stone statue. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone body and frees the soul trapped within. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the Daimon's gift destroys the stone statue. Argonus shows compassion for the poor creature, setting its soul free from the bewitchment that fell upon it. Argonus calls upon the power of the Daimon, turning the stone statue into nothing more than dust. This simple bronze key lacks any sort of embellishment. Poorly made wooden chairs frame an equally paltry table. Wooden planks and animal skins do not a comfortable bed make. As the statue crumbles to the ground, the soul of the villager rises and dissipates. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. Argonus calls upon the power of the Daimon, turning the stone statue into nothing more than dust. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the Daimon's gift destroys the stone statue. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone bodies and frees the souls trapped within. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the Daimon's gift destroys the stone statue. This small bed looks uncomfortable, even to a lost, weary sailor. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. With a simple gesture, Argonus frees the soul of the animal from its stone prison. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the Daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapsing completely. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. The power of the Daimon surges through Argonus, destroying the stone statue and sending the soul within it to the underworld. The statue is no match for the power of the Daimon. The stone shatters, releasing the soul of the Argonaut within. Never did Argonus imagine that he would witness such horrors upon his friends, much less be the instrument of their salvation. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the Daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapsing completely. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone body and frees the soul trapped within. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. A sigh escapes Argonus's lips as he uses the power of the Daimon on the statue that was once his shipmate. Knowing that nothing else can be done for his friend, Argonus uses the power of the Daimon to release the Argonaut's soul. The power of life and death flowing through him, Argonus reaches out and releases the soul of his fallen comrade. Argonus shows compassion for the poor creature, setting its soul free from the bewitchment that fell upon it. With a simple gesture, Argonus frees the soul of the animal from its stone prison. Unearthly power surges from Argonus's disfigured hand and into the statue. As it breaks apart and falls, the soul of the poor individual quickly departs this mortal world. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the Daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapse. Argonus calls upon the power of the Daimon, turning the stone statue into nothing more than dust. Argonus holds out his hand and calls upon the power of the Daimon. The statue quickly falters before collapsing completely. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. Unearthly power surges from Argonus's disfigured hand and into the statue. As it breaks apart and falls, the soul of the poor individual quickly departs this mortal world. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone body and frees the soul trapped within. Argonus releases the Daimon's power, freeing the soul of his friend from his prison of stone. The statue is no match for the power of the Daimon. The stone shatters, releasing the soul of the Argonaut within. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the Daimon bestowed upon Argonus. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the Daimon bestowed upon Argonus. A sigh escapes Argonus's lips as he uses the power of the Daimon on the statue that was once his shipmate. A sigh escapes Argonus's lips as he uses the power of the Daimon on the statue that was once his shipmate. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the Daimon bestowed upon Argonus. As the Hydra crumbles to the sod, the soul of the beast does not appear, nor does it succumb to Hades' call and depart to the underworld. Amidst the rubble, a large stone remains, unscathed by the power of the Daimon's touch. By its nature, stone is hard. This one, however, is uncommonly so. Warm to the touch, it reverberates with a continuous pulse. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. This pile of dirt is intermingled with bits of dark, cold coal. Again and again, Argonus sets shovel to dirt, until all that remains are a number of coals. 'Tis a number of hard coals, each no larger than a hen's egg. It takes Argonus a minute or so to remove the coals from the pit. The air about Argonus suddenly grows heavy, and without warning, a rift opens, and the favored daughter of Zeus steps through. Athena smiles at the sailor. Well done and done, Argonus. You have proved yourself much more than a historian, much more than a simple sailor. And now, I sense in you a new thing, the goddess says, tilting her head. Do not withhold this gift from those who sailed blue seas and grey swells. Nor should you give up on your brethren, for while many have fallen, some still live. Again, I say to you, seek them out and save them. For the ones that have brought them low, you have now seen with your own eyes, Stheno and Euryale, creatures of madness and spite. Athena's eyes narrow as she speaks with great authority. Gird yourself for what is ahead, son of Argus. Do not grow weary, for fair Athena is with you, and a boat awaits. The goddess slowly nods her head, and without another word, is taken up into the sky.